Hey YouTubers, Test One here. My beautiful MMS260 Delorean, the first release Delorean, which I've had for 5 years. I've had it since the date the 3rd of the 7th, 16. Beautiful car. It's one of these things that you cherish when you have, because it's such an iconic car, and it's the classic Back to the Future car, the first release. I'm moving it on to a buyer. His name's Sam from Gumtree. I've sold it for a relatively cheap price, and I'll get to that in a minute. Why I've sold it so cheap. It still doesn't take anything away from the actual car itself. You know, it is gold. All the bits and pieces in this car makes your heart melt, honestly. But I'm, as a collector, move things on. I want to move this one on to someone who's going to appreciate it just as much as I did. And I appreciate everything I have in my 1/6 collection. Is this the first car that I really wanted to have? No, it's not. I want the 1966 Hot Toys release car, which never happened, unfortunately. It would have been my pride and joy. But then I have this car, which is just as good, but it's not the one I hold close to my heart. Is it for Sam? It possibly is. There's a lot of Back to the Future fans out there that will go crazy over this. Right, I've written down a few things, seven things here. One that I'd like to let Sam know, basically, is that this car was pretty much in a display cabinet for the 5 years of me having it. I never ever touched it, hardly ever touched it. It's one of those museum displays. You just looked at it and that's it. You lifted up the door, one door, and that's it. So preserving this car was very important for me. I would like to... Actually, I'd like to say for one thing that collecting, you don't lose money and stuff like this. You always gain money. It would have been better if the situation would have been better for me for this car to sell it for a higher price, but it unfortunately didn't turn out that way, and I'll get to that point in a minute. Why did I sell? I pretty much want to use the area where my car's been sitting for the 5 years to use that space for my Guardians of the Galaxy characters. I want all of them together on one display shelf. So it's very important for them to be together in one line, if you know what I mean. So I do love my Guardians of the Galaxy characters from the first movie. So that's the reason why. It's about clearing 3 shelves, I think it's 3 shelves, and then making room for other figures to go in that spot and moving. So it's a rotation process. I rotate a lot of stuff in my studio. Will I miss this? Of course I'll miss it, but I have so many other things that I hold close to myself, and this would be something that I'm glad I had, but I'm glad I moved on to another person to enjoy it just as much as I did, if not more. I had the original Blade, original Hellboy, great collectible figures. But again, I've moved them on. And do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. I don't regret my decisions in moving them on. I get top dollar for it, and I move it on. So that's good. It's always good to move things on but you don't move them on at a loss. You move it on as a profit. So a small profit on this one was made. It could have been better, but there was one issue that sort of grounded me down to selling to a price that I sold it for. I'm going to get the camera around here to show the buyer who's watching this video this car and what he's purchased, and you know, it is one that I'm sure he's going to totally fucking love when he gets it in his hands. Okay, get the video around here. This is a good angle to have the car on. I especially love the back end of this car. The only thing I didn't understand with this car is why they didn't put the electric rod. Why didn't this car come with the electric rod? It's got the holder for it. It would have been easy to make the electric rod, but they never made it. So I just didn't understand that extra accessory wasn't done. Right, the door, it's a 3-stage lift up door, very easy to, but I love to be very careful with things like that, but 3 stages and that's it lifts up to. I think that's it, about it. It lifts up to 3 stages. That's the driver's door. 3. And the same as the back. I've never lifted the door on the passenger side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Something I wouldn't like to do too often. I love to keep things as they are, untouched, you know. So by doing that is something that I felt I didn't want to do. So anyway, but that's up to the buyer to do what he wants to do. Right, the easy lifting bonnet. There's no difficulty there. The spare wheel area, it's got the batteries in it. The button is here. I would like to show you after 5 years of having this car in a display cabinet untouched, I can honestly tell you that I've only turned the lights on of this for about 3 times. That's it. So unfortunately I don't have any lights apart from the front lights and the park lights underneath and the side park lights here. That's it. I don't have the flux capacitor. I don't have any lights in here on, no backlights, nothing. So really, Hot Toys, if you're going to make an expensive collectible figure like this, make sure that you have parts that you can purchase to replace parts that do fail. You know, I think in this instance it was the circuit board, which is located around here somewhere where the batteries are located. I think that's gone. But why? Why is it gone? I've hardly touched the car in 5 years. Why is the circuit gone? So, you know, I'm very dubious about light up features in anything. I'm going to turn that off now for a flat battery. Oh yeah, just a tip is the bonnet moves backwards and forwards, so you got to move it back like towards the seats before you lift it, because it can actually do some damage to the front of the bonnet. So I lift back, then lift. So pull back, lift. Turn that light off. I mean, the seller knows about that, but it cost me about $500 of money that I've dropped in because of the light feature. It doesn't work. The seller doesn't care, and I can understand why, because you've got such a beautiful, beautiful car. just it soaks up your eyes as soon as you look at it. I have removed the outer strips, very delicate mind you, very delicate. It's an easy push-in system throughout the car. It doesn't really require much ingenuity to put these on. There's 3 pieces. Recommend you be careful. You only push the areas where the plugs are, and not to go outside that, because there is some joins and it's a very delicate piece. So 3 pieces, you have to be very careful when joining or handling. I do have the original booklet, and that goes inside here, which are the original stickers. I have used some of the stickers. There is some other stickers here. I think they might be, not too sure if they're spares, or I think there might be spares in case the other ones fall off. I'm not too sure, but there's spares here, spare number plate. So yeah, so you got some spare stickers here that you can use at any time. So that's about it for me. I've just wanted to show the client the car. It's immaculate. There's no scratching on the windscreens. There's little marks on the tops here, but they're both sides and they're part of the car. So, but there's no scratches. The wheels are actually rubber, so, and they all spin. I'm not sure if the car. Yeah, the front wheels don't turn. That's fine. Just going to show the back end very carefully. Here's your back end. It's very heavy in weight. It's probably about, I reckon it's getting borderline of 5 kilos, or maybe more, 7 kilos, something like that. It's very heavy. So I've shown you the doors lift up. I'll quickly disengage the camera now, show you the insides. I don't like to lift the doors up too many times, but on this occasion I'm going to do it once through one door, the driver's door, and show you the inside. The clock, on the back here, is the cap. That's an extra accessory that just, just the cap to stop, once you put the food in there. I think you put the food in there or something, I don't know. There's a cap that goes with it. And the clock, there's a clock already inside, which I'll show you on the camera. There's a clock inside. That's the other accessory. So I'm not taking that off. I'm going to leave it in there. Just one thing less you have to worry about. So after this video, I'm going to be packing this car up and getting ready for a courier to pick it up. To Sam, you bought a beautiful car. I know you wanted to get a lower price than what it was, but honestly, when you have it in your hands, you will understand that you've paid the right amount of money. If not, you've got it for a very good price. So just don't think you've paid too much, because once you have it in your hands, you'll understand it's a beautiful car. Right, just going to show you the inside, and that's it for my video. So just lift the door up. I'm going to do that carefully. I don't want to. I'm going to do it with both hands. So excuse my camera action. Both hands. Three lifts, 3 clicks. So there's the flux capacitor at the back there, or I know it's a little bit dark, sorry. Everything's there. There's your clock. Seats look like real leather, don't they? They're not. They're plastic moulded. Just up there, there's some... I'll see if I can... I'll just lift it up a bit. There's some switches and stuff at the top there. I'm filming this at night time, so yeah, that's why it's a little bit dark, but so that's it. It's a quick, I try to make it a quick video, but I wanted to express myself as well at the same time that, you know, no matter how well you look after these things, the lighting, I'm just not a big fan of anything lighting. I like to do my lighting on the outside, but I don't like the lighting on the inside of these. I hate it. So that's just my little nitpick. I prefer just plain figures, you know. Speaking of lighting, I will be doing a video on just standard detofs and the cheapest way to do lighting and the best way to do lighting in my opinion. And that'll be my next video I'll do. To Sam, I hope you enjoyed my video. This is a lot better than just taking photos. So I'll attach this link to this video for you to watch, and you've got a great car, mate. Enjoy it, be careful with it, and respect it, and it will respect you back in turn. Just test this one out. Catch ya. Beautiful.